Hello, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle. Now, our very own Waffler Claire has just returned from one of the shortest trips possible to the most magical place on earth. And this time, instead of her usual off-site villa or her favourite Disney hotel, Coronado Springs, she experienced her very first stay at a value resort. So let's see how she fared at Pop's entry. So, sorry, we're all having a little dance. It's not the same as the music from the new podcast, which I really quite like.
I was going to say we need to record that so everyone can see what happens when those intro titles roll.
It could be like the woman on BBC News who got caught out for the countdown with the 10, 9, 8, 7, and it finished with the finger, wasn't it? You know?
We do all have a little dance in the background when that music's on.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, I'm not alone. Joining me is Claire.
Hello. I am back. I'm back. It was quick.
Didn't take long.
It was brief.
How long was the jet lag though? Because
do you know what? I really didn't have any jet lag because it wasn't there long enough.
Yeah.
Perfect. So
actually,
if you want jet lag tip, book the shortest trip possible.
Right. Yeah. It was weird. We'll get into it, but I haven't felt that tired.
Okay.
That's good to know.
So you're basically selling the 3-night trip to Orlando,
right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Long weekend in Orlando.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the future.
It is.
As you can see, John is here.
Good evening, Becca. Do you know something? After last week's, what can only be described as car crash of a show, I've been really looking forward to this Wednesday because actually, I just want to know the whole shebang.
I was just thinking, what happened last week? And then I just remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
I like you called it a car crash. I haven't yet been investigated the show.
It's a special one then.
It is a very special one. Yeah, I think very special one. I think it's the only way to describe it. And also for everybody who watched it, I did set out a little competition to put into the podcast. And strangely enough, we've been inundated, with people who've actually got to the end of the podcast. So that tells its own story of exactly what was going on last week as well. So
I love the mention of the car because Anna is currently listening from the car.
Well, please don't crash yours.
Oh no, don't crash on it. Yeah.
We're not responsible for any car crashes that do happen.
And do you know something? That actually must be. I know people in America do it quite often, and they will listen to us either at work or on the way home from work and things like that. But I think Anna's the first person to actually get the whole either Facebook or I think it looks like YouTube that she's on, and texting. Hopefully not whilst driving as well. I hasten to add, it's not recommended, and I actually get kids into trouble all day as part of my job for doing that. Just saying,
Anna wouldn't do that.
No, so stay safe, Anna.
The message was obviously sent before she'd pulled away.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Or the use of Siri or any alternative voice recognition software.
Can I just very quickly just say a quick hello to Kenny, who's in the chat as well.
Hey, Kenny.
I went to see James on Friday night in Glasgow with Kenny, and it's the first time in 25 that we've actually met up.
Wow!
So it was absolutely amazing, and just the most incredible way of meeting with people that you used to go to school with, and it was it won't be too long before we do the same again. We actually were remarkably refrained on the drinking front, so that was even better. So, but yeah, cheers, Kemp. It was just absolute delight, and the gig was brilliant as well. I must say that.
I think you had a very hectic weekend.
Oh, it was brilliant. Yeah, we did James on Friday, and then Taylor Swift on. Sorry, James on Friday, Taylor Swift Saturday, and then we dropped Josh off at the airport on Friday morning. I think I did about 800 miles in the weekend, which was good.
I can beat you.
I know. But were you driving all the time, though, Claire?
Oh, I was when I got there.
All the way to Target and
I know,
all the way to Walmart.
Yeah.
But,
Claire, can I just say a big? I'll forget if we go further on. But thank you for everything you did for Josh as well.
Oh, that's all right.
It is really appreciated, and no, it was above and beyond.
They're sorted out. They've got bedding, and they've got stuff that they need, lunch boxes and water bottles and all the stuff. We raided Walmart. Morgan and I were there at 7:45 in the morning. The first morning we were there,
jet lag.
We rolled into Walmart at Lake Wilson Road.
Yeah.
There was nobody in there. It was great.
So you kind of
Walmart. It's your kind of Walmart.
We went back later in the day. That's a whole other story. And it was unbelievably busy later in the day. Yeah. So no, it was great. Very quiet.
Note to self: when wanting to go to Walmart, go early.
It opens at 7.
Okay.
So on your first morning, because Morgan and I had a plan that when we got there, we would go to Publix go to the hotel, drop the stuff off, and then go to Publix. And we were just like, you know what, we'll just leave it. We'll do it all tomorrow morning, and we'll just go and grab food somewhere else tonight.
Okay.
And yeah, we were up early, so we cracked on. It was great. We'd done all the shopping by 10.
Nice.
Wow.
It was great.
The rest of the day to do whatever you wanted. Well,
spend a pop century, right?
we'll get to that.
I have been jealous watching both sort of Josh and Morg's socials over the past few days of what they've been able to experience. It's like, it's going to be an incredible adventure for them, and I can't wait to hear what they get up to.
I just think, Ben, as well, what is really telling is the complete excitement.
Yeah.
That you go through it. We were at Manchester Airport, and it was so. I actually felt it was really, really well done. And Virgin, actually, I'll take my hat off to them. There was a lot of people on Josh's flight who were either doing Camp America or they were going to Orlando for the Disney program. But the guy who was basically in the check-in area, he spotted the fact that we stood away to one side to just let Josh get on with stuff, and and he came across and he said, we've got a few of you guys today. Come on through and just be part of it. And I just thought,
amazing.
That was the first bit. But then Josh then texted us from the plane, and he says, as we got on the plane, all the cabin crew knew exactly why we were solo. Basically, 20, 21-year-old youngsters getting on a plane, and they made us feel like rock stars. And it was just like, I just felt that is such a bit that I know we complain about airlines, we complain about a lot of things along the way, but Virgin really, really went above and beyond what you would expect from an airline. Yeah.
It's a really good thing, because when you think most of the young adults that are going, this will be the first time for most of them traveling on their own.
Absolutely, Becca. Absolutely. And
it's not like just a short flight, a 3-hour flight in Europe. You're going 9 hours.
They were all like, quick, load up more body on the plane.
Because you won't be allowed to drink for 3 months. I was really taken aback, and I actually went to the trouble of actually emailing Virgin on
that's nice.
because I basically said, I want you to send this as high as you can, because basically every time someone probably picks up this customer service email address, it's probably a complaint, and this is not a complaint, and this is something that you need to actually go and tell the staff that what they did on Sunday, from a parent point of view, was absolutely superb. And you know, it doesn't happen very often, I must admit. So so it was quite nice to write a nice email for a change. So I hope the people at LNER maybe are listening as well, because I'm still harping on about them. So that's another issue.
That's another story. That's another show.
I won't talk about
that. I'm loving in the chat the fact that Riley is commenting on how many Jaffa cakes Morgan took in his case. There was a lot.
40.
Yes. Pancakes or individual Jaffa cakes?
Individual Jaffa cakes. So
that's not terrible then. For 3 months.
So it's like one a day, or maybe two.
That's a week's worth.
2 Jaffa cakes a day, which for Morgan is, fairly restrained.
So if anyone in the UK is heading out there over the next few months, make sure to bring some Jaffa cakes.
And dairy milk for Josh. Morgan needs Jaffa cakes, Josh needs dairy milk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I said that they could start doing this underground trade in Jaffa cakes, dairy milk. Morgan's got a whole box of Yorkshire tea bags. There's all sorts of stuff that I'm sure is available and could act as currency.
Brilliant.
I've just seen there's so many people in the chat today that haven't been here for ages.
I know. Mark Jones has
just
popped in. Thank you so much for brilliant.
I struggle to call you Mark Jones. There's a nickname that you have that but I can't repeat on this show. And Butch is here. He hasn't been here for ages. And I saw Megan in the chat as well.
Megan was,
and I got to give Megan a great big hug last week. It was awesome.
Oh wow!
I managed to meet up with Megan briefly. It was really brief. It was like for 15-20 minutes, and we got gate crashed by Carlos and Pedro, which was amazing. So Carlos, all the Pontos was around as well, and he was there with Pedro.
So
I had such a great 3 days meeting up with so many people. So Megan, Carlos, Zach, Jason, Lisa Milam, who's not in the chat, I met up with in the evening. It was just like we saw so many friends. It was great.
Did you get a chance to see the drone show while you were there?
So Morgan and I did see the drone show. We went to Disney Springs on I'm trying to think which day. Wednesday.
Sunday as well. Come on, you go first.
So we went on Wednesday, and I think that what they saw on Sunday was probably similar to what we saw on Wednesday. We were trying to work out where we were going to go and eat, and we had a chat with Lisa for a while. And interestingly, in Disney Springs, the drone show happens. The best place to watch, and Carlos had warned me, the best place to watch it is from like Summer House on the Lake area at the end, so the west side, so down by House of Blues. And they basically corral all the guests. You have to walk all the way down past House of Blues and then back along. I'm doing this with my hand, you can't see it. Back along the water edge, and they put everyone sort of by the back of some house on the lake, back up where the old Starbucks was, all of that area, and everyone sits there, and there's a lot of people in that space. But we had decided we wanted to go somewhere to eat, and I was like, come on, we're going to go to Dockside Bar, because that's what you do when you're in Disney Springs. So Morgan and I went and sat at the bar. Well, we had a high top table out at the Dockside Bar at the boathouse, which, looking at the drone show, was sort of like on the, when Harmonious was on and you were in the wrong place and you had the bad angle. Yeah. We had the bad angle of the drone show. So we were it was like Morgan described it as like the worst game of Pictionary ever. They're trying to work out from a 90-degree angle
what is it what their
things were. And it was great. It was a great game for 20 minutes. So we were like, oh, is that Iron Man? Or is it not quite sure? It's very rare. Yeah. So we did see some of it translates, like the Death Star bit was brilliant. You could see that from any angle because obviously it's round. But it was from where we were sat, we watched the 9 o'clock show from the boathouse. And then we realised why we definitely decided not to go and sit with everybody else at the other end. Because after the 9 o'clock show at 9:15, we watched hundreds, thousands of people trying to file out of that area to leave Disney Springs while we sat with our drinks in the Dockside Bar. So I think it probably looks great. I have to say, it's a nice addition. Am I in a massive rush to go and sit with all those people? Probably not.
Yeah.
And I think Morgan and Josh did the same on Sunday night.
They did.
I think there's a tip I've seen. If you're not fussed on like the music side of it, actually watching it from Saratoga Springs, you can see it
the backside of
the backside of it. Yeah.
But it's the right angle at least. Where we were on the oblique angle. It really wasn't designed for where we were sat. However, the drinks we had and the food we had made up for it.
That always makes a difference. I've got to say, from my experience of drone shows, because we had a huge one near the castle in Scarborough last year, and obviously being the person I am, I wouldn't pay the money to go and watch the drone show because actually,
you're like hanging out your window.
Well, kind of, but we went down, and we were on the wrong side of it, and so what happens is, unlike fireworks, drones only have project the light in one direction. Yeah. So you actually, like you experienced, Claire, you're actually trying to guess exactly what it is trying to get across here. Yeah. But when Josh went to it as well, I think they were in the boathouse as well on Sunday night, and he was more perturbed at how short it was.
It was really quick, actually. I thought
given the fact that there's been so much hype about it and how many people were there.
Yeah.
You were expecting it to be a bigger sort of bit.
Yeah, it was
a little bit more sort of
12 minutes, I think, total.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing I'll say is that the 9 o'clock show through the summer, it isn't actually dark.
It's going to be daylight, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's dark-ish.
It'll be dark by like 9:30, but it's.
And so the other show, which is at 10:45, is better because it is properly dark.
Yeah.
And so, waiting till the later one is probably a better move. But I have to say, it's a nice addition if you happen to find yourself in Disney Springs with nothing to do at that period of time. Absolutely catch it, but I wouldn't say it's like all that.
Yeah, I think shows are great, but they're only better when they're paired with fireworks.
Well, so where we were sat, we had a great view of the fireworks at Epcot because they were going off. We saw them better than we saw the drones.
So there you go then.
That was a win-win.
Yeah.
It was a win-win.
So we are nearly 20 minutes in. Should we talk about Pop Century?
I got away.
I
know.
Claire, before you do, I've got to say I was completely shocked that you didn't bail out, and I take my hat off to you purely on that basis because I really wanted to come to the show, and I actually thought that by the time we came to do the show, either we'd have to change the title of it, or the fact that you might have had laryngitis and not been able to do the show either.
You thought I was going to take the piss because I'd upgraded. No, I did it. I stayed at Pop. So for those who didn't know, before I went last week, I had not only not stayed at a value resort, I had never even set foot in one of the Disney value resorts. I had never been on a value resort property. It had just worked out that way. So this was, and I went. It's just how it works out. I've stayed off site a lot. And only stayed on a few places on site. So I stayed in Old Key West, Saratoga Springs, Beach Club, and Grandestino. So this was a really quick trip for me. Morgan was there for 6 nights. I was there for 3 nights. And so I used my annual pass discount and got a really, really great price for Pop. And so knowing that I wasn't going to be there for 3 nights when Morgan was going to be on his own for most of it, and he didn't have a car, having a resort on the Skyliner was really helpful because it just gave him not more freedom, but a different option in terms of freedom. So yes, Mark, it is definitely more in your face.
That's a great way of describing it.
Pop specifically is very bright. It's very bright resort. But so Pop was the best deal that I could get, and actually it was. I checked the price, and it ended up being just under $1,100 for 6 nights. So that's what, £870, something like that. So less than well, it's $150 a night roughly, which actually I don't think is a bad price for any resort. You probably pay that up the road at the Rosen Inn and things like that.
Well, especially this time of year when it's like so close to summer holidays.
Yeah. The resort it did feel quite busy at times, but not all the time. And this you could tell how busy it would get because there's so much parking. So like we drove in and we dropped the car in like the parking to check in parking lot, and I was like, oh, that's not a massive car park, it feels quite busy. And then you realize that like there's another 5 car parks. And I was like, oh my God, if this place is full, it would be unbearable. But it wasn't, so it was okay. And we had a preferred room. It wasn't all.
That was, you missed that one out.
Do you know what? I'd actually forgotten I'd booked a preferred room. It wasn't until it came up on the day of check-in, and it said, "Do you want to go? You can go straight to room number." And it said preferred room. I was like, "Did I book a preferred room? I don't remember that, but I did." So we were in building 6 in the 70s. Which was great. We had opposite us, we had a big sign that said polyester, which made me giggle every time. But we parked. I drove around all the way around the back to the 70s and 80s parking lot, which is like pretty much an art of animation. We drove, walked in via the 80s bit. But this was I'm trying to see if I can see the view from our room. Pretty much we were actually up on the what I would call the 3rd floor, Americans call the 4th floor, but we looked out over this no, sorry, if you actually look just under the W of Watts, that was our room. This is looking the other direction. So every day when we left the room, if we went in the lift, we got to see the backside of Mickey, which made me chuckle.
That's a great photo of that, though.
I know, the sun was there. I was actually waiting. That was on the last morning. I was waiting for Morgan.
Beautiful photograph.
And the sun was just coming round his butt cheeks, and I thought that'll do.
Yeah, I think it's great.
So the room we had was a standard, a preferred room, which had a large king bed, I guess, and then the Murphy bed, pull down Murphy bed.
Yeah, that's the table, isn't it?
Yeah, so when we walked in, Morgan was like, "There's only one bed." I was like, "Ha. No." So that's it before you pull the bed down. And actually, it was really nice. It was clean. Yeah. It was modern. I don't know when they were last done up, but actually, there's quite a lot of space in the room for 2 people.
Yeah.
And then when you pull the bed down, it's got a nice little Pluto thing in the background. It's very nice, and a light inside it. So we actually had the bed down for the whole time. It became a bit more cramped at that point, but there was sufficient space for the 2 of us and how many cases did we have? 3 cases. Because they go under the beds, which is great. The beds are high enough for the cases to slide under the beds, and all the shopping that we did, so that all went under the beds as well, which was great. The bathroom has a large walk-in shower with the H2O products in it, usual, with a toilet in the shower room, and then the slide across door, which does. I was like, there's no long mirror, but the slide across door has a full length mirror on the back of it. It has 1 sink and then quite a large like vanity unit next to it with some shelving, the hairdryer and everything. So there's quite a lot of storage in there. There's no formal wardrobe, but there's like a hanging section in the bathroom area. The only thing I said to Morgan was a bit weird. There's no mirror outside of the bathroom area. So there's no mirror in the main bedroom at all. So if you wanted to get ready outside of the bathroom, you can't really, unless you don't need a mirror.
Because I think you've only got the small one that's on the wall that pulls out usually. The small one.
There wasn't
a makeup mirror.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. So in the bathroom, there's a big mirror in front of you by the sink. Then there's the long mirror, but there's nothing in the bedroom at all.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that I noticed would probably have been an issue had we been there longer, or had there been we not had as much time and things like that, but we had plenty of time to do what we wanted. So as a room for 2 people, if you were sharing the bed and you had the tables, you didn't have the Murphy bed pulled down, there's plenty of space. And actually I would say that it's a really nice room. There's a cupboard which has got a safe in it, but some shelves, spare pillows, and then it's got 3 big drawers. It's got a fridge, it's got a coffee machine, which is not the Keurig coffee machine that you get in Grandestino, but it is the one that you put the little coffee bag in. Yeah. So I guess that it's not the biggest room, but I would say it's certainly not the smallest. If I was to compare it to Grandestino, it's probably, the room size is maybe 2/3. No, it's probably half the size of a Grandestino bedroom.
Yeah, Grandestinos are
quite generous. Yeah. But in terms of cost effectiveness,
I would say
it's outstanding.
Yeah,
there you go. That's why you had to go and do it, Claire.
With Pop Century,
that's it. You're gonna go and stay there for the whole of August, just because it's cost effective. Now that's it.
We've got a villa bit, so yeah, you crack on, John.
But I love what they've done is that at Pop Century they've taken that room format and they've replicated it across to all of the All-Star resorts.
Okay,
because it's worked.
Yeah. And I wonder, is it the same size as the casitas and stuff at Coronado?
I think casitas are slightly bigger,
but it's the same shape room, I think. And Caribbean Beach, it's the same sort of shape room in those moderates that are slightly more, if I say, spread out resorts rather than like in the tower or yeah. So I would say that as a price in terms of what you get for your money. And the fact that, we were in a preferred room. We were less than 2-minute walk from the main building or the pool. We're probably a 3 or 4 minute walk from the car.
How far were you from the Skyliner? Or was that
3 or 4 minute walk?
Okay.
Really, really close.
Yeah.
And it was hot. And we were on the 3rd floor and we used the stairs every time. There was 1 lift or 2 lifts for the whole building, so we did tend going up and down the stairs. It wasn't a problem at all.
It depends where you are in the building, because we found that that All-Star, that depends on where the lift is. Sometimes it's easy. The stairs are easier.
We'd have to go past the stairs and past our room to be able to go up and lift. So it was crazy. We just used the stairs.
Just going to pause the conversation for a moment. It seems like there's somebody waiting in the green room.
Who could that be?
We have guests. We have guests.
We have gate crashers.
Oh, Linda, go.
Here you go.
Hello.
Hello, King. Oh, there we go.
Where are we? We're live from Magic Kingdom. Switch your phone around.
Go on.
Oh.
Good old Magic Kingdom Wi-Fi.
We're in the queue for the people mover at the moment.
All right.
Excellent.
Nice.
Oh, switch around.
Yeah, there we are. It's like question of sport for a minute, John.
It was, wasn't it? And they're going to keep dropping in and out here, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the Wi-Fi. This dreadful signal right there.
So thing is, Ben, imagine this, only worse, and then you'll get somewhere near Lost show as well.
And chaos going on around us.
And you weren't joined last week by nice guy Zach Brown.
So. Yeah, right. And he was on form. He was behaving. What you saw on camera was the good behaviour. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
What we got off camera was not good behaviour. Yeah, we are talking. Yeah. So, but it looks quite. Gosh, is it toasty?
There you go. Sun's out.
Sun's out, guns out. No.
Yeah. Can you hear us? That'll be no.
Oh, it's like Morgan and Mindy. Come in, Josh.
Yeah.
Awesome, Morgan, Josh. Very warm. Okay, that's so funny.
It finally stopped raining though. That's the best part.
Yeah. So, for those that are watching, Josh and Morg they enrolled on their program on Monday. They've got 3 days in the parks to have fun. And today they're in the Magic Kingdom, and I think there might even be Fantasmic on the cards for later.
That's the plan. That's the plan. And also, Josh was up at 5 a.m. American time, if not earlier, because he actually had an exam to do this morning.
That's odd. But it's done now. It's out of the way.
Done. So
Yeah.
I can imagine it's going to be a long night, and actually he deserves that as well. So
I'm sure they're going to have fun.
Yeah.
Yes. So Mark, they do. Morgan is working in Creations and Club Cool.
Yeah.
And Josh in the air conditioning. That's all I'm going to say.
Josh is on the outdoors, but he's doing. It's like the carts probably around the area around Everest. Possibly, we haven't quite worked out some of the coding on the assignment sheet. But it
Animal
looks
Kingdom
like
outdoor food and bev.
Yeah, but it might take in some of the Wild Africa trek as well.
That'd be cool.
Which will be absolutely superb.
Yeah.
But
so
it's really exciting. There you go.
It's very exciting.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, we have to come a bit closer just to hear you at the minute.
We're just getting close up with their nose. It's like
That's fine. We'll do the same. Look.
Here we are. We're all the same.
Yeah. It's like Edna Mode Tap.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's a start of Bear in the Big Blue House, isn't it? You smell of Walt Disney World.
I'm just looking forward to anyone listening back to this show on Friday.
You smell of sweaty weather. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Amazing. But yeah, these two have decided to gate crash the show today just to drop in. And are you nearly at the loading? Are you nearly at the calf stretch bit?
Just to make us even more jealous. I think that's exactly it, Becca. Yeah. Because actually every single picture, every single message we get from Josh is like, oh my word, we just want to be there.
So it was quite interesting that someone said to me yesterday, is Morg started work yet? I said, well, he did on Monday. But then all the photos I've seen so far of him in various places drinking margaritas. So I'm sure there is some work happening eventually.
You're training well, Claire.
No,
that was after I've come home.
Oh. Is that not a case? Is that not a case of that's my boy?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, the elote and margarita picture from yesterday in Mexico. That was a proud moment.
Oh, the elote in Mexico is fantastic.
It's amazing. It's so underrated. It's such an amazing. It's underrated snack. It's so good.
It's yummy. It's light. It doesn't fill you. It doesn't make you feel heavy. It's just.
It's like tangy and cheesy. Yeah. So good. So good. If people haven't tried the elote, try the elote.
I've not tried the elote.
Do you like corn? Do you like corn, Becca?
Yeah, I quite like corn.
Yeah. It's so good. So good.
Hopefully when we're on there, we'll be able to hear them. Fingers crossed.
You won't be able to hear us. It's fine. We're just going to talk about them, not to them.
Yeah.
Going up the ramp in a minute.
I just think this is a really good thing. So obviously, with Morgan and Josh being out there, if anyone's watching or listening, we will be able to do this depending on what their work schedule is.
I'm trying to hear.
We'll actually be able to do this a little bit more, which is it'll put a little bit of a different spin on some of our Wednesdays throughout the summer, which would be quite good.
They might not. Who knows?
Obviously, in the build-up to the great cornhole toss extravaganza in August.
I can't wait for that.
We have. We've got cornhole in Flamingo.
They've got cornhole.
They're going to be pros.
They'll
be pros by the time we get out there.
I don't know what
in all sorts of different environments. We're going to be well cornholed by the end of the summer.
Cornhole champ. Things like that.
They'll be champion tossers. What's it called? Is it a cornhole board or is it like a cornhole? I don't know what the thing is called. They've
got two concrete cornhole courses.
Is it a course? Is it a court? Is it a?
I don't know.
Course would mean there'd be multiple.
They've got
What's
two
the correct terminology?
hardcore concrete
Where's
base
Carrie
ones.
in the chat when you need her?
I know Carrie's not here. She knows all the stuff.
Yeah, Megan might help us. We might be all right.
There's one indoor AstroTurf.
I'm more intrigued that people in America find it funny that the use of the term cornhole. Butch, I'm looking right at you. I really do think that might. I think that might.
So many jokes that we can't say.
The term, I must say.
So many jokes.
But we're British and we can get away with that, you see, because actually.
Yeah.
Turn into the tripod now. Yeah.
But yeah, so they can practice. That's the thing. We can't.
No.
Well, you can. I can't. So I'm hoping.
Mine's not concrete. Mine's not
one on
concrete
each team, so you'll be all right.
Yeah.
It's when they decide to gang up against you that you might
we'll try and do it as a live Wednesday because Zach Brown has offered to and has agreed to commentate on the competition.
And I think Carrie's agreed to do
This is going to end up being a big, massive thing, isn't it?
I hope so.
Yeah, I think this could be quite intriguing. So if anyone is in the chat and anyone listening on the podcast as well, if you're in Orlando in August, then you are invited to laugh at Claire and I playing cornhole toss, and then you can marvel in Morgan Josh's experience and things like that.
Boards. Thank you, Mark. I wasn't sure. And what's the area that you play it in? Is it like a cornhole court or a rink or a?
Consider me now well cornholed.
A bit. Yeah, I don't think we're allowed to say that, Morg.
You just did. Mark, you're very naughty.
We just got on the escalator and it stopped as we got onto it. That was a bit of a weird feeling.
The best.
We're going to walk up the escalator.
But it's the sponginess of that. Yeah. The actual sponginess of that is quite something as well. It's not like a proper escalator.
No, it's not a proper escalator, but it's
no, but it's really spongy from the times when it used to.
It moves people.
Yeah, but is it not?
That'll be the Astro Orbiter above you then.
That sounded intriguing. But was it not sponsored by Goodyear or something at one point as well, wasn't it? So the actual.
Was it all made of tires?
Yeah. So it's
sorry for the noise.
All about that.
Don't know what happened.
It's the Astro Orbiter above you.
They've only been to Walt Disney World for a couple of days.
They've already broken
it.
Yeah. They have.
You're exactly right, Mark.
Oh.
This is carnage. This is not.
You should have watched last week.
I was there.
And since she's not
on the other side of it.
And since she's not here, a massive thank you to Robin for bailing me out last week, because actually, had it not been for Robin, it could have been the longest hour and 20 minutes of my entire existence.
Oh, there we go. Moving people again. It's moving again.
There we go. There we go.
I have to say, we rode the People Mover last week, and it didn't stop during the ride. So.
Oh, at all?
Not once.
You know why that is? Just saying. Because we don't have so many.
About 3 times where we've been sat underneath it. I think it's just us.
Must just be you two. Must be you two.
I'm not going to be. Shall it be controversial and say the reason it didn't stop is because they haven't got so many of those DAS passes that they're handing out anymore, because they've completely annihilated that whole system and things like that.
Yeah. Controversial comments.
Yes. It is, but also
it's a controversial topic. But
it is, but also.
I tell you what, it's screwing up my Buzz Lightyear score.
Did you get Galactic Hero then, Claire?
I did not this time.
No. There you go. You see.
We didn't do quite as well this time. I did beat him, but you know.
Can I also add as well? And I'm not deliberately being a pain in the neck here, but having spoken with Robin after the show last week, even with Robin's condition, she doesn't qualify for a DAS pass, and that for me that's wrong. It is wrong, and I think there needs to be a little bit of work done on that.
I think that's maybe a topic we can pick up on the show.
Thank you.
Oh, look, they're boarding.
Here we go.
They're going to.
That's what's been so cool, is everybody seems to think they know us.
Ah.
We're celebrities.
You celebrities already.
It's like waving as they go around, like the Queen. Hello, hello.
And then you get the wave. You get the wave right. It just needs to be the from the wrist. From the wrist.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of practice of that.
That's it. That's it.
There's a way.
It's quite funny just watching them looking down at the camera.
Yeah.
Everyone's tuning in for the best bits of Pop Century, and it's like,
No.
Random bits of Morgan and Josh's face. I mean, while they're on the People Mover, just to say, I think that Pop had some really good things. I think that it caters very well for families. And I would say that it was efficient in terms of parking and buses, and obviously it has a Skyliner as well. So I think the longest we waited for a bus was about 10, maybe 15 minutes.
okay.
Which wasn't bad at all. That was to Disney Springs. But you are going to the furthest away bus stop, just saying. But it was fine. And I think that the rooms are good. I don't think 4 people could share a room for more than a couple of days. I think you'd kill each other. But the 2 people, or even a family of 3, perhaps, it would be fine. I think it's they're cost effective, and I think they're well organised as well. I'm going to let them show the corner as they go around the corner. And you see Riley, this is the People Mover. Oh, there it is. They're in the dark now, so we can keep talking. We did get the refillable mugs for the resort while we were there. And they were a good price. I think they're $21.99.
Yeah, we always get one when we're out there.
And they actually last for 2 weeks, so it doesn't matter how long it's that. So actually, I left mine there for Josh to use, so they can take them to any resort and fill them up over the next couple of weeks. And I think that there's a lot of drink refill stations at Pop. Whereas some of the other places, a bit like if you think like Old West, it's there's the one by Good Food to go, and then one by Turtle Pot. Yeah. Whereas you go into Everything Pop, which is obviously the shop and the quick service restaurant, there are probably, I'm just counting out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different drink stations at Pop.
Wow,
that's quite a lot.
And most of them, there's double like soda stations. At all of those, and then there's like a coffee station as well. No tea, no hot water, no tea bags. Just saying.
Can we cut back to them? Can we cut back to them? Because
absolutely,
Josh is going past Tron probably for the first time. The last time we went,
we're on the way past Tron. You've got Josh Cam,
and this was actually the last
building site.
Yeah, it was, and they were trying to figure out how they were going to get the railway.
Trains below us.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's really good timing.
Hey!
You might disappear.
You're not going to see anything now.
Yeah.
But we'll give you a corner of you later.
We'll put it on mute. That'll be it.
Just darkness. You'll see a little bit of Space Mountain in a minute.
Oh, sorry.
That random person's face.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit odd. But yeah, so I think we were a 2-minute walk away from the central building. So Everything Pop. The shop is good. It has some really cool Pop specific merchandise. So they had pins, they had like the tree ornaments that are super heavy. They had a couple of t-shirts, they had some cool Skyliner merch, which was nice. They definitely had some interesting, it's Pride Month, obviously, so there was quite a lot of Pride merch around. I think the shop is quite well kitted out. They did have some food items, not a huge amount, but enough to, if you wanted to get like a frozen pizza or something like that, you could. I don't know where you cook it, but I guess there is somewhere. We did have one snack meal at Everything Pop, where we got back from the park and we were just really hungry, and we had a late dining reservation. And I mobile ordered. It probably took 20-25 minutes, so it wasn't the fastest, and it wasn't particularly busy. So I think it's probably fine. Breakfast, it was really busy at breakfast. Lots of people. We got on a bus one day, and there was a chap in a ECV sat there with his plate of bacon in one hand, just eating the bacon with his fingers, because that's how you eat bacon apparently. And then on the floor he had like a plate which had like 3 croissants on it or something. It's like he'd just driven onto the bus with his breakfast, But I think breakfast, it seemed to be busier than any other time. Josh is happy. They're so funny, those two. They're just like the next 2 months are just.
It's delightful, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's so great they're getting on so well as well.
Just well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are sharing an apartment, and there's 2 Americans in the apartment as well. So
that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Some nice cultural differences there.
Yeah.
I think it's been really helpful because the 2 Americans have welcomed them so
They're
nicely.
really lovely.
And I think that, and they've been there either before or they're on their second year or whatever. I won't give away any spoilers and things like that. But they are cast members of quite repute and things like that.
They've been there a while. They know the tricks of the trade.
Yeah, and that's what you need there.
Those clouds look a bit ominous today.
They do. Blue skies 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, there might be a dive for cover after this, I think.
Queue for Space Mountain, I reckon. After that, that'll keep you busy, wouldn't it? Keep you dry.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
What else do you want to know?
We're kind of hoping it doesn't rain again. We've had enough rain the last 2 days that we don't really.
Yeah, it was
we don't really need
torrential
any more.
Yeah.
So in the last 2 days, we got drenched about 3 times. Yeah. I brought the weather with me. What can I say? Yeah, you were right. It's been awful. I know. All my fault.
What else do people want to know about pop? Anything?
What's that, sorry, Claire?
I'm asking in the chat, and Ben and Becca and John.
In my opinion, pop, very good.
Yeah, and mine. I really enjoyed my night there.
Yeah. Good.
We had a late night swim on, was it Sunday night? Yeah.
Did you?
That was lovely. Yeah, I was impressed. Yeah.
So
did you go on the Skyliner much, Claire? Or?
So we did go. We did it one return trip to Epcot, and then I think Morgan did it a few times on his own. And I think that it was fine. Actually, it was really efficient. It was very quick. It took less than 20 minutes, I think, to get from Pop to Epcot. There was no waits. It was literally no queue. Just walk straight through. So, and we didn't stay late in Epcot, so it was quick.
Yeah, I think that's that psychological thing about the Skyliner. You just know it's forever moving.
Mm-hmm.
So where you're at a bus, you're waiting up to 20 minutes and you just missed it. At least with that,
it was actually really easy to get the Skyliner from Pop to anywhere.
Yeah.
So if I was going to get it from anywhere, it'd be Pop.
Yeah. And it was really efficient.
I've just had a message off my housemate Lucy, and she was just asking what the People Mover was. So
yeah,
I thought we could all give her a bit of an educational lesson on the People Mover, that it transports you around Tomorrowland.
And it's an electric magnetic moving system designed by Bob Gurr.
Another thing
designed
by Bob Gurr.
Transportation option designed by Bob.
It's your highway in the sky.
What do we think of the updated sort of audio? Yeah.
Right, should we flip it back around to us? Yeah. Go on, you do that.
I love it.
This is so good.
This is how it's going to be.
Having professionals by the end of summer.
I know they will, and that's even more scary. There you go.
I thought they were one of the best rides in Disney. Oh yeah, totally.
It is one of the greatest things actually to do in Magic Kingdom. I just think it's
just so chilled, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just sit there and enjoy the breeze.
I wonder how many people miss
The
it.
breeze is lovely.
Too many.
But it's the history as well, though, Ben, isn't it? Because actually, the bit where you go past that, the model of what Epcot was originally meant to be, and you could imagine something like the people mover would have been incorporated within that whole setup as well. You know, it's just like really, really clever and really just. Yeah, I think I've said this in a few of our shows. It's one of them places that when you've got young kids who are not tall enough to go on Space Mountain, you can actually take them on that, and actually they don't really miss the Space Mountain bit because actually they have a really special time going on that, and it's really good. Love it.
Yeah.
There you go. Escalator's working.
Yeah, the escalator's working on the way down.
Yeah, I'm
Not on the way up.
I'm quite
Make you
surprised
hike
at how.
up.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi really stood up as well, which was really
It
good.
did.
Yeah,
I think the
That's
Wi-Fi was better on that ride than it was in Tomorrowland.
It certainly was.
definitely.
Closer to the buildings, maybe.
I've just noticed that you're wearing the badge that was a button that you were given. This is
They
part of
are.
the-
Yes.
Yeah,
Morg, show
Yeah,
us the
hold on.
back.
I'll give you a good photo of it. Hold on.
yeah, because it's actually
Oh,
Unique.
wow.
yeah
Oh, wow.
celebrating the Disney
Like
College
Disney
program.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love
and then we
that.
get on our lanyards. We've got a little genie for our building,
Oh wow.
Ah,
wow.
so you know where you are.
and then
That-
that's what gets us. That's what gets us in everywhere.
Access all areas VIP.
yes. Backstage passes.
Very
All of
nice.
this stuff.
You're gonna have so
How
much
good
fun.
is that? How good is that?
Anyone would think they're having a good time.
I know.
Never.
Work out soon, Claire.
Yeah.
Give them a week after they've started working.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
After mopping up all the spilt Beverly.
they've got they've got traditions on Friday, and then
Yeah. Christmas Friday.
workplace
Christmas
work,
Friday, yeah.
induction
And
and
then we've got
orientation,
making the magic course on
Yeah.
Saturday.
and then costuming on Sunday. So lots to do. It's very cool.
We start getting paid from Friday though.
Good.
And
That's the
and it
important
comes
bit.
in every Thursday. I've learned.
Cool. That's the important bit. There's payment for this.
Walmart trips suddenly become a lot more affordable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You can
And
eat
So that's
now.
Still more affordable. More affordable than Target as well, though.
Yeah.
Must
You need to
admit.
go to Cast Connections and buy the big 10-kilo bag of chicken tenders.
Yeah, we need to go to Cast Connections after we do. I don't know how much of that we can record for you, but we'll go and we'll check
don't
it out
know,
and give
but-
you an opinion.
Go and have a look and see what, because you can buy food there and it's cheap. So yeah, go and do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, guys, you go and have fun.
we're being kicked off.
We're being kicked off.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll leave you to go and have fun.
Yeah.
We know
So we're
you've
in
got to
America.
travel
Do you want
fast.
to go now? Is it?
Yeah,
No.
off you go.
Oh yeah. If you
Come
put Josh, if you go and have a look on Spring Nuts on Facebook as well.
You'll have to look at something on Facebook.
Spring Nuts.
Spring
Spring
nuts?
nut.
Yeah. Spring
Spring
Nuts.
nuts?
Spring nuts?
Oh, it's
Mad-
the Bruce Springsteen fan
Mad-
page. I'll have a look.
Okay.
Mad-
I wasn't
Mad-
sure what you were talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
John.
For a minute.
Assuming this has something to do with Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's Madrid, and they've
Also,
got.
before we go, if everybody would like to see us go live again next week, Morg's working in Creations, and I've got the day off. So we could go around Epcot and we'll go and meet Morg at work.
So they're going to be at work,
That'll
aren't you?
fit in perfectly because we're talking.
Brilliant.
We're
We're talking about
all-
coffee and drinks.
We're talking about coffee.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Joffrey's.
So Starbucks is across the way.
Starbucks.
That's what I
Yeah,
was thinking.
right.
Yeah. Fits
Let
in
us know,
perfectly.
around
let
the
us know in
world.
the chat if you want a regular live slot. It's
Oh
I have
yeah.
a feeling it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think this could be the
regular
summer.
live slide extortionate.
Amazing.
No,
All right. We will see you
Cheers, guys.
later.
See you later.
Waffle.
Yeah.
Waffle
thanks a
on.
lot.
Bye.
Oh my god.
How do we leave?
Kick him out, Ben.
Yeah.
Oh my Oh gosh. If you're going to Walt Disney World this summer, please go and find them and
Oh yeah.
See if they're working.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
Go and say
superb.
hello.
Yeah, and also I just think it is the most amazing experience. And if you've got kids who are younger who want to go and do it, just get in touch with us, and also have a look on Yummy Jobs and things like that in the UK.
And actually, if you let us know, we'll point you towards Morgan and Josh's Instagrams, because they're doing loads of sharing of stuff, and they're happy to tell you people how to do it. So,
and also listen back to the 2 previous podcasts that you've recorded.
Yes,
talk about the planning process, because
The
there's
whole
a lot of stuff that you don't realise when to apply for, what year you're going for. It's not an easy process, but there's not as much information out there about it that you think is accessible.
No, this is it, and that's why they're doing all of this promo stuff. And I think we're so fortunate to have them able to join in the live shows here and there. Yeah. Now, can we just go back to the fact that I stayed in a value resort?
Yep.
Claire, was there any pictures of you in this resort, or are these just pictures?
I took the pictures. Hang on, these photos that I took. I'll tell you one of the things I loved, which I didn't use, but I was tempted to have a little go at this.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sound. This.
It was so cool. So that's in the 70s area.
This was like the next level from
Cornhole Class.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not doing. I'm just saying.
That could get us into some real trouble.
There's a line, and you're drawing a line in the sand. There.
I'm just thinking about. Do you know what went through my head? Was Zach's commentary. That's all I'm going to say. If we did a Twister competition, and the T-shirts that Carrie might make, I can't even go there.
We'd have a grand time though.
I'm sure we would. I noticed that Riley asked in the comments, why is it called Pop? It stands for Pop Century, and it's about pop culture. So there are buildings that are attributed to the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. So
Carrie.
Cornhole Council, Twister it is, according to Carrie. That's it. Yeah.
But that's why it's called. That's why it's called Pop. It's actually Pop Century, but everyone just abbreviates it to Pop because it's less of a mouthful. They have these massive things around the resorts, these massive sort of icons that are based on the decade that you're building or that building is around. So they have things like the Play-Doh, which is very cool, and the have Baloo and Mowgli, which is awesome. And then they have these massive yo-yos in the 60s area, and there's a blue one and a green one, and they sort of border the walkway to the Skyliner, which is really cool.
Brilliant.
The 80s area has the potato heads, which is very cool, and like a Rubik's Cube and various things. So there's like these huge icons, and then there's like the words. There's like polyester, there's nylon, for the 70s area, which is great. The pool, like John and I think. John, am I right in thinking that Morgan and Josh went swimming on Sunday evening, having been at the boathouse? We did go. Morgan and I actually went to the Hippy Dippy pool on Wednesday because it was so unbelievably hot. It was Thursday we went. It was like 36, 37 degrees, and I was like, I just need to go. I never go to the pool in a resort. I was like, I just need to go and sit in the pool. And actually, it was really nice that we got a drink from the bar, got told off for taking the drinks towards the pool. The guy took them away from us and put them back by our chairs. You're not allowed your drinks by the pool, people. But the pool itself was really nice. It was clean. There was 5 lifeguards on duty. Ridiculous number. And it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening, just before it started to really cloud over, before it rained. And then the pool was great. It was so lovely. And there are different pools at the resort. So there's a quiet pool, which is the bowling pin pool down at the 50s area. And then there's like a computer pool in the 80s area, which are a bit quieter than the Hippy Dippy one, which is right in the middle, in the 60s bit. I'm trying to think. Megan mentioned about the entrance area. I don't know if you can see on the left-hand side of that photo, there are these sort of frames which have got, when you start coming at the main entrance, as you walk along, they transit through the decades. So that this end is like the 90s.
Yeah.
And there are there's like Disney memorabilia and decade memorabilia in each of those.
Oh wow.
sort of units, which is, I think Morgan's got a video of it somewhere.
I love that they are like the value resorts. You don't think there's going to be much
I
detail,
was
not as much theming.
I was surprised.
But I remember the first time
It's
we stayed
amazing.
at All Stars at music, and it was like all of this stuff from decades of different music and things like from Queen, Elvis, and it was all sorts of different things. You just thought the time and detail was taken for them to do that.
Yeah, so I was pleasantly surprised. I have to say, it wasn't luxurious, but it was certainly functional. It was very cost effective. It was perfectly acceptable. And would I stay there again? Yes, I would. I wouldn't stay there.
Doing a parks trip as well. If you're all day in the parks, you just need somewhere just to
it's
down
great.
at night.
I don't know. I would stay there on my own. And the only reason I say that is because it is motel style and the doors open out onto open air rather than into a corridor like a hotel. So that's one of the things I like about Gran Destino rather than the rest of Coronado Springs. Is you feel like you're
the motel style first.
It feels safer because you feel like you're inside a hotel. That's a psychological thing for me. It's just one of those things. But in terms of Pop as a resort, it's I think it's a very cost effective. It's modern. It's clean. It's spacious in terms of the route. I have to say, when Jason dropped us off on Thursday evening, he parked by the 80s or 90s building and the whole thing was lit up in red. And it did look a little bit like a prison block in Eastern Europe. It was a bit strange.
What the theming Disney were going for.
Well, 90s it might have been, but it was a little bit odd. And we did talk about whether Beirut was the approach. It was but
I tell you what, Claire. I think Disney were on the phone in half an hour to offer you on the next advertising campaign for.
Wasn't me
staying at Value Resort.
Than Beirut.
And what I would say, and this probably goes against a lot of what your experiences in the past have been, Claire, but for a lot of people, if it's the option of staying on site or off site. Or not going at all. I think this is where Pop and All Stars, and also Art of Animation, because I've got to say we stayed at Art of Animation and we were just, the theming is absolutely incredible, and even if you stay in somewhere else, go and have a look around the Disney resorts, because like you've just said, and even that photo that we showed earlier in the show about with Mickey, it's just like. The theming itself has gone to just a completely different level, and I think that's being lost a little bit at the higher part of the.
I agree.
The higher part of the food chain, isn't it? Because
if you're looking for a resort that makes you know that you're in Walt Disney World, absolutely Pop is there. It's great. If you've got kids who want to see the Big Mickey, they want to see the Jungle Book stuff, they want to see
how easy accessible it is to Art of Animation.
Really
so you can spend
easy.
Time there as well.
I think it is a great resort, and if I was there with somebody else, would I stay there again? Yes, I would.
And I think Skyliner is
but don't ever quote me on that ever again.
Skyliner is a game changer.
I was going to say it's recorded forever, so
there'll be a meme tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Thanks so much for that.
Is that someone started to GoFundMe for Claire? Don't put Claire in Value Resort for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I'll tell you what, I the other place we went, so we did do a bit of a tour of some resorts. So Morgan and I, the first night we were there, we went over to the Poly. So we got the bus to the Magic Kingdom, and then we got the monorail around to the Poly, and we went to Tambu Lounge and got some drinks and some food, and then we went and sat in Trader Sam's, which was Morgan's first experience of Trader Sam's. That was very cool. We were going to go to Steakhouse 71 Lounge, but we ran out of time, and it was sort of 9:30, and it was be closing. So we did go to Grand Floridian, and we went to Narcoossee's, which is the first time I've ever been there. We went Thursday night late, so it was like 9:15 our reservation. Fireworks were at 9:20. And actually, I would say Narcoossee's was absolutely outstanding in terms of the food was really good. We were with, so it was Morgan, Jason, and myself. Jason was difficult with the waitress. he was Jason. Right, yeah.
Yeah, why change the habit of a lifetime?
He asked for things that weren't on the menu and the drinks menu, but all of that stuff. The girl who was serving us was awesome. She was pregnant and she was clearly just like she'd had enough, but she was very tolerant, and the food was really, really, really good. Really good. Like, I would definitely go back just for the food. The view across, because there's a huge thunder and lightning storm. So while we were waiting for the table to be ready, we stood outside on the balcony and watched the thunder and lightning. Like, the lightning behind the Contemporary was incredible. It was like that pink Florida thunder and lightning, which was amazing.
Really,
really beautiful, and huge, great big lightning forks like hitting the water and hitting all sorts of stuff. And when the fireworks were on, they do dim the lights in the restaurant, and lots of people go and stand outside on the balcony. We didn't, because actually from there you can't see a lot of the fireworks. You certainly can't see anything on Main Street, all that stuff. You could see enough from where we were sat by the window, so it was fine. But Narcoossee's was really good in terms of quality, in terms of atmosphere. I would definitely go back. And it's not somewhere that's ever been on my radar before. It was actually a couple of people. It was like Megan and then Chris Blagg and a couple of people who mentioned it and said, you should give it a go. I'm obviously tend not to, like, Morgan and Jason both had a pork chop, which you wouldn't normally think you would have in Narcoossee's. And like, we were like, pork chops are like super dry, get it in your teeth for the next 3 days job. But this was like a milk brined pork chop with like peaches and sweet potato mash and stuff. And both of them said it was outstanding. So I would say that it's definitely it's on my list now for the future, far more than California Grill or anywhere like that. Citrico's would be above it, but
it's not a prefix, is it, like California Grill?
No, it's not.
That's the thing that put us off California Grill, is like as soon as it went to prefix and that stuck
I
around.
do not rate California Grill. I would put Narcoossee's above it, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that would probably, from a food position, was probably the highlight. It was really, really good, apart from the elote in Mexico, which outstrips all of it.
Okay.
But yeah, we had a good time. Like, Morgan and I we had 3 days together, and we had so much fun. We did a lot of shopping. We went to, I'll tell you where we went for breakfast. We went to the new Kiki's on the 192. So we've been to Kiki's up at Winter Garden before, or Windermere. We went to the new one on the 192. It was excellent, really, really good. Far too much food. And we went to Hash House A Go-Go, which is at Flamingo Crossings.
Oh, I've always fancied,
because there is one up at the top of iDrive towards the outlet. Never made it there, because by the time you get there, just get shopping done. So there is one opposite Flamingo Crossing, right by, because there's a few resorts there. There's a Target, there's a Walgreens, various stuff for the college program kids, but there's a Hash House A Go-Go. Amazing food, like amazing food, far too much. Like, if you were going for brunch at like 10:30, something like that, it would totally set you up until 7-8 o'clock in the evening. I had the vegetarian hash, which had like breakfast, like fried breakfast potatoes, artichoke, peppers, sun-dried tomatoes, spinach, and it came with a side of eggs and a biscuit, which I couldn't eat because it was far too much, and then some fruit. I would say it is outstanding, and I think that it cost $16 for my meal. And I couldn't eat for like the next 12 hours. So definitely a recommendation. Kiki's and Hash House Go-Go.
I have. Kiki's is on our list.
Kiki's is on our list.
Kiki's is amazing. Just the pancakes are
looking forward to Kiki's.
Stupid. Carrie, it's like 5 meals. It totally is. And it's really quirky inside, because there's like a big tractor when you walk in the door. It's very cool. Morgan had like an egg scramble, and he ate the whole thing somehow. I don't know how. He's 21, he can. But yeah, so those are the 2 places that we had breakfast, and they were really, really good. Really good.
You sent me pictures of that, Claire, as well.
Yeah.
I've got to say,
tempt you.
It really did look something different.
I would totally go there again.
I think that's a really
and actually, Flamingo Crossing area is like a 10-minute drive north of. So you turn up after you go to Coronado Springs and turn right, and it is like 5-minute drive up that road. So it's certainly within easy distance if you've got a car or you're jumping in an Uber from anywhere on site. Closer than the 192.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think talking of hiring a car, I know we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago that car hire dropped down in price.
Yeah.
Definitely keep an eye out again because it's dropped down even more. I've just saved another £25 this week by rebooking car hire. So,
see, we've done ours as a package, so I can't keep doing that.
Yeah.
And it's, you know,
our Tesla has now cost us £195 for a week.
that's great.
That's good.
So I'm not gonna complain at all.
No.
I'm staying quiet because I got an SUV for less than 500 quid for 3 weeks.
Nice.
We've got an SUV and it wasn't a lot of money.
And actually that's, you know, I know we always say this, and I know it goes alongside what we kind of always come out with on the podcast as well, and it's always that bit of, if you book something, go back, check it again, just to make sure that you can actually get some really good deals. I'm finding at the moment for August, the car hire has probably bottomed out, and it hasn't. It's now gone up about another £200 or £300 than where I got it only last week.
Yeah.
But I've now halved my car hire cost just by going back and just checking.
And that'll balance out with the Ubers that you get to Epcot.
It's ridiculous, Claire, isn't it? You know, you just
pick us up on the way.
Oh, too right. Yeah. We'll get a minibus.
Totally. When we do the cornhole competition, it's a minibus to Wilderness Lodge for everyone. Let's go.
I'm sorry for anyone going to Wilderness Lodge that often.
What's the point?
A Waffle bus will need to get decals on the side of the bus and things like that.
Slide the door open and we'll file out. Theme tune playing. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant!
But yeah, I can't believe I've been and I'm back, and they're having a great time. Josh and Morgan having a whale of a time, and you know, serious work starts this weekend. So
I really thought you'd be really jet lagged just because of the 3 days, and it was sort of
because I think
you haven't had time to adjust to it, and you were busy.
Yeah, so we were up
stuff
I was up at 6 US time, and then we were going to bed 11 midnight, something like that. So I was still getting.
So you hadn't flipped it around.
No, whereas when I go for 5 days. It does hit me. So it's just it's that it takes a day per hour to adjust, and I think that is the same going the other direction. Maybe I did sleep on the plane both ways a little bit, but not a huge amount.
Once I find like 7 days and then 14 days about the same, because you've got into that sort of like pattern, and then it's like okay, I'm now back.
So I know that Morgan has settled into that pattern now, because previously he was up early in the morning, and today he didn't get up till like 9-10 o'clock US time. I was like,
I was worried about that, Claire, because I set me alarm, and I'm thinking at UK time at 9:30 this morning, I was at work. And I was like, I have to send Josh a text just to make sure he's awake. You know, it's his exam. And it's just like, you know, when you're thinking they've been up late and just like, that would be your worst nightmare.
But Morgan messaged me saying that they were getting up. Josh was going to do his exam, and then they were going back to bed for a sleep. Not together. They were going back to their rooms to have a snooze.
Yeah.
And then they were going out because they're going to Fantasmic tonight. So.
It's just brilliant. But the problem, I keep getting pictures later at night, and so it keeps me awake, and I'm pretty sure by tonight
you're going to get some Fantasmic.
I'm going to be watching Fantasmic on FaceTime. I can see it happening now.
Well, when we walked over to Casey's Corner last Thursday morning, Grayson was there playing, and as we walked over, he was playing Fantasmic, and it was just like the best moment.
And again, that the music you sent me as well.
So Grayson was. I love watching him play.
It's beautiful, and
I love when he takes requests, and
that's what he was doing. He said, "What do you want me to play?" And some girl said, "Oh, can you play Robin Hood?" He's like, "Yeah, it's the shortest song in the world." And he said, "What else?" And I said, "Could you play some like retro, vintage parade music for me? You know, Celebrate a Dream Come True or something like that." He says, "No, but I can do a mashup of Electric Parade into Spectra." I was like, "That's the one." I said, "My friend John will love that." So that's
Claire. It was just beautiful, because it was actually, when you sent it, I just finished my last driving lesson of the day, and when you're just on your way home, I'm in the habit. I put the radio on loud.
Yeah.
And it is that end of day thought, and then I just put it on. A bit like Anna did to our show.
Yeah.
And put it on, and Joey just like, it is beautiful, and just the whole piano.
He was amazing, and he's such a nice guy as well. You know, I love Grayson a little bit. And then someone said, "Can you play Bluey?" Because obviously that's on Disney Plus now. Yeah. He says, "I haven't learnt it properly yet." But then he went in, and everyone, yay! And then he plays all the bits, and people are like, Mom, Dad, bingo, Bluey.
It was
really
I saw
fun.
I think you shared it the other day on TikTok, him playing Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, yeah. So that was the other thing I was going to ask him for, but he finished his set. But you know what? Grayson is amazing. And I was so glad that we managed to catch him on Thursday because that made my day.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for on our one day in Magic Kingdom.
You're like stalking him.
Yeah, get in the park at 4 p.m. because that's the earliest we can get in. So
Oh,
it's like,
no.
okay.
I think
they finish before that.
They finish at 6:30.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the marching band we're going to miss that finish at 4.
Oh yeah, we saw the Magic Kingdom Philharmonic.
But the next marching band we'll see is going to be Disneyland.
Wow.
So that's going to be. I can't wait.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Might have booked something for that.
May have booked a trip.
Oh.
So, not as short as 3 nights though.
Fight and talk.
Yeah, can't wait.
Amazing.
Saying that, we've been very busy here at the Great British Mickey Waffle. When I think 7 episodes in June,
something like that.
Don't tell. You know, we gift you all sorts of special things. Don't say we don't treat you.
And I think John mentioned this earlier that next Wednesday, best coffee. And the best place to get and place to drink.
Places to drink it. I think as well, because I think we're going to have coffee wars to start the show.
Yep.
Because people have got different brews that they really like.
Yeah.
But actually, it's the place where you drink it. And
I've got a view of where the best coffee is.
And we want to get everyone in the chat come and join us, and then just go with us, and we will find.
I will share a photo of where I think the best. I will put a photo in ready for the show next week. Where I think the best coffee is.
That's a bit organised, isn't it? Like,
I know.
Good grief. Us being organised, that's
a first.
Organised, that's how this thing works.
Do you know what? I've been so happy. We've had so many friends in the chat tonight. We've had Colton, who's in LA. Oh, sorry, he's in Las Vegas in the melting in the heat. We've had Anna and all our friends.
And also there's people been lurking as well, because my phone, there's been times I've actually gone to my phone to answer texts because people have been texting who are not in the chat. I know who you are.
Ninja Watchers.
Yeah, but it's so nice.
We love a Ninja Watch.
Yeah, but it's so nice because you're part of the show, and it is so brilliant that, you know, certainly from the feedback I've had, and certainly from the chat as well, to see 2 young adults going and having the adventure of a lifetime and actually being on the show live, I think just adds that different dynamic as well. And I think certainly from the reaction, I don't normally get a text from about 5 different people during the show. Nobody usually texts me on a Wednesday night, so it's quite good.
John, you're busy,
I think you say you've got a text. All I can think is someone saying Love Island.
I know.
No,
it's like got a text.
Do you know something? That's where that goes right over my head, because I've never watched any of that absolute tripe.
That's the one thing Morgan needed to catch up on, and he was like, "I've got to catch up on Love Island because he missed like 10 days of it."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "But Bridgerton the second part of Bridgerton is tomorrow, but not in the US, so he's got to use a VPN to watch it." He's like, "I've got to see the next bit of Bridgerton."
This segues perfectly in another show that is coming out this weekend. Our favourite TV or movie.
There you
go. Hang on. I need to find my moustache. There you go.
Almost like we'd planned.
And also this weekend we do have our mid-month show where we were joined by Russ.
This means there are 2 shows out on Saturday.
Technically, there's going to be one out on Friday and one out on Saturday.
One out Friday, one out Saturday. I didn't know how we were doing
it's
it.
Too much waffle, then let us know.
But it's good. And actually, like I said last week as well, we did have a bit of a poll going in the Wafflers Arms about whether people actually enjoyed the fact that we went for shorter shows or the longer show, until me trying to vote and see who voted deleted the bottom one. Yeah, so yeah, which was just like typical.
We have no idea what the results were. Did we?
I posted it again on Instagram, and we've had an update on the poll, and Instagram is opposite to Facebook.
Inconclusive results.
Inconclusive. So I think for the
swingometer is going.
But yeah, I think going forward we'll probably stick with the 1st and the 15th for the moment.
Yeah,
and we will.
I think so.
We will reconvene because
this
summer's going to be very busy for all of us. We've all got various trips, lots of stuff happening,
and that's the exciting bit, Ben, because actually we've got the ability to actually be in the parks and we do more stuff as well. Wendy, I've seen your message there. She doesn't drink coffee, but plans on watching. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm not a great coffy lover myself either, but I'll leave that for next week. And I'm hosting. I'm hosting, which will make it good, won't it?
There's tea. There's hot chocolate.
There's donuts that go with your coffee.
There's somewhere in the place in the American Adventure. By the American Adventure, the Joffrey's Cart, they do a really good Bailey's cold coffee.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See,
I didn't know they did until Zach.
How to improve a coffee?
It's very good. Yeah, that got me through the candlelight processional. But we'll pick that up next week.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So thank you everyone for joining us. And if you do need any more waffle apart from the 7 we've got out this month, you can watch all of our previous shows right here on YouTube or on your favourite podcast platform. As usual, we are at GB Mucky Waffles on all of the socials. So come and find us, come join us in the Wafflers Arms. Feel free to like, subscribe and share the show with friends and family who share the same Disney passion as we do. And there's just one thing I have to say.
I'm going to go and get a coffee.
I'm off to watch Springsteen on Facebook. That's it. Live in Madrid.
See you next week.
See you next week.